Show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
The Utah Jazz have a Western Conference contest on their hands as they prepare to defend the home court here in downtown Salt Lake City, Utah. We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kawhi Leonard...
And they need him to be that way, D.A. Thank you, especially after Tim Duncan's retirement and Manu and TP getting older. This is Kawhi's team now, for sure. About halfway into the season, Doris, teams are already separating themselves from the pack. What are some of the elements you are looking for right now as you take a look at those top teams and trying to figure out a championship contender?
So you know that line, it's about the economy, stupid. It's about the players, right? You got to have players. You got to have stars. The contending teams always have at least 2 or 3 stars. So let's begin there. The other part is you've got to have the right role players around the stars. Think about the Draymond Greens. Think about the Kevin Loves. Guys in those positions that are in support of maybe the guys who have the ball in their hands. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. There's got to be an unselfishness, a professionalism, a commitment, all the things that make championships possible on any number of levels.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for San Antonio, skilled tandem of Leonard and Aldridge at the 3 and the 4. The timeless Parker and Manu are the 1 and the 2. And it's Gasol, and at the 5, Rome in the paint. There's the double team with Ginobili. Ingles kicks to Burks. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Burks has got the first points of the night for the Jazz. Parker outside. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Here's Aldridge. Gobert pulls it in.
Boy, not enough spring in his step on the way to the cup. He actually short arms that layup.
Burks on the wing. And Rubio kicks to Gobert. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That's his first foul. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That is his first foul of the game. And Aldridge comes over to help, and stolen by Aldridge.
You know what? That passing lane wasn't open for long. He closed it down in a heartbeat there to get the steal. And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, and he was so quick to break on that one. A good sign that he read the play.
And there's the call on Ginobili. That's foul number 2 for him.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
Green, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili.
Boy, that's the vision and ability to deliver precise passes. Rubio completely on point.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by.
I'll tell you, Ricky Rubio, from the midway point of last season on, really started to shoot it well. Now, we know he's a natural creator and distributor. He's always been great at passing and playmaking, but boy, if he makes that jumper, look out.
And on the offensive end, Rubio's playmaking, his most valuable skill, at a game last season where Dorsey tallied 19 assists.
Well, this is a guy, Ricky Rubio, who understands the easy pass, but he can wow you as well. There's an ability to thread the needle with a chest pass or a bounce pass, and he can do it moving or standing still. Simply one of the best passers in the league. Boy, great job protecting the rim and turning an easy layup into a missed opportunity.
Aldridge, the pass to Parker. Leonard kicks to Parker. Green against Burks. Here's Aldridge. Just 5 to shoot. Drops it in from 11 feet. Aldridge has got his second bucket of the night.
His mid-range game is what sets Aldridge apart from the other bigs in our league. He's about as accurate a shooter as you'll find among players with his size.
Gobert dishes to Rubio. To Repko. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got 3 assists tonight.
And they can't allow him too many open looks like that. That's just inviting trouble. The wherewithal from Gasol there, nailing the shot despite the tough defense all over. And Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Whether it's the low post, high post, flaring off picks, you want the ball in his hands.
So Utah ends up going with the new group. Then for the Spurs, Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Aldridge. Gay comes in for Leonard. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Hood, the pass to Favors. He dishes it to Hood. The feed to Johnson. Shoots from 12, and he gets the jumper to drop. And Pau Gasol, a very good perimeter shooter, starting to stretch his range out beyond that three-point arc.
Yeah, his face-up game is becoming more and more prominent. Working from that elbow, he's become more of a triple threat. He can shoot it, drive it, and pass at a high level.
The Jazz have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line.
And as a team, really just middle of the pack in terms of their percentage from the line at about 76.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. And it's DeJounte Murray in for Danny Green. Outside Hood. Back to Johnson. Cephalosha with it. Gay picks him up defensively. Mitchell kicks to Johnson. Hood on the wing. The 17-footer. And it's good for 2. Hood's got his first points of the game.
Well, don't underestimate the in-between game of Rodney Hood. This guy can make shots from just about anywhere.
And it's Anderson that time on the assist by Murray.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Hood kicks to Favors. 30 seconds left in the first quarter of the game.
And a surprise he doesn't knock that down. Defense a little too lax that time.
And stolen by Hood. And now Utah, fast break. Buries the jumper to finish the break.
That's the exceptional speed, Kevin, of the talented Rodney Hood. Leaks out with perfection.
Anderson dishes to Mills. Pass to Murray. Inside. Passes it to Anderson. Cephalosha with the steal. And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. It's the Jazz. They lead by 3. Live from Vivint Smart Home Arena, you're watching 2K Sports. And a chance to hear from Tony Parker, who said he lives for the...
I always try to improve and get better.
And in Tony Parker's case, great is what he wanted to be and has been for a long time.
You know, that's great because that shows pops and why he's one of the best in the game. You got to be able to drive and motivate and also give the confidence. And that's what's happened with Tony Parker. Remember when he first came on the scene, it was not a cakewalk for him. He had his struggles, and now we're talking about a guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. What do you guys think about the Jazz here in this one?
I mean, tremendous ball and body movement to start this game.
I think they're moving the basketball incredibly well and getting to the right spots on the floor, and it's really providing easy opportunities.
On the court for San Antonio, we've got Murray. Anderson is out there with Laverne. And it's Mills, and it's Bertinason at the small forward. And a major renovation completed by the Jazz at the team's expense, over $110 million, Doris, to bring this 25-year-old facility up to date.
Well, everyone will benefit, right? New locker rooms for the players, better seating and suites for the fans, a new outdoor atrium that includes a solar roof. Even those who can't get into the game benefit. Large screens will broadcast the game to fans who are in the outdoor plaza. How cool is that?
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Spurs have never been the flashy team in the NBA. Tony Parker said beautiful basketball is playing the right way. Ball movement, pure, beautiful basketball is the way we've played. You have all sorts of fans, and there should be something for everybody. Kevin, he told me a long time ago, if we were in New York, people would love us.
And during Popovich's time in San Antonio, the Spurs have always played together, D.A. Got to respect their team-first approach to the game. Gobert, he's checked in for Utah. Ricky Rubio comes in for Mitchell. Leonard, he's checked in for the Spurs. And Rubio kicks to Favors. Nice ball movement by Utah. And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Okay, now you've got to dial down the intensity a bit, right? That's his second foul, and we still got a ways to go before halftime.
And the Jazz making a change here. Burks is checked in. Spurs also with the sub. Parker's checked in. Laverne passes to Leonard. Can't get it to fall. For the Utah Jazz, they come in off a loss to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I just thought their energy was lacking defensively. Just gave up way too many easy shots.
And when the defense isn't there, Greg, you really open up the floodgates for the other team. They didn't have any heart. Boy, nice feed, leading him into some space. A nice catch on the run, too. Wow.
And Rubio kicks to Gobert. And there's the call on Ginobili. That's his third foul of the game. Of course, you talk about versatility of players, but as a broadcaster, you've been a courtside reporter, game analyst, a studio host, you name it. What do you prefer to do? What do you like most?
There's no question about it, Kev. The analyst role is the absolute most fun. Now, the only thing that might push that over the top is to sit beside the great Kevin Harlan.
Here's Aldridge, and the dunk by Aldridge.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Yeah, a big change of possession in a tight ball game. We'll see if they've seized the momentum.
And Aldridge comes over to help. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Burks. That one wide left. San Antonio leading by 3. Ginobili with the ball. And Burks picks him up defensively.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Rubio outside. The Jazz again can't hit it.
Well, they get it to the high percentage area, and then it all goes wrong from there.
Aldridge against Gobert. Bertans kicks to Leonard. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Leonard's got 4 points in the quarter.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Bangs home the trifecta.
Boy, showing great patience, waiting to make his read. Rubio sets up his teammate perfectly.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Fresh from a win against Portland.
And look, it's always tough to win on the road. You've got to go in with the right mindset, and they did.
I think, Greg, they didn't let the crowd or the noise get to them, and they have to be happy with how they played and executed on the road in that one.
And the Spurs making a change here. Pau Gasol's checked in for Leonard. Gay comes in for Davis Bertans. Danny Green, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili. And Murray subbed in for Tony Parker. Jazz trail by 6. Here's Burks, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. They get Pau Gasol.
Alec Burks, Kevin, continuing to develop into a dependable scorer. He's got great size for a 2-guard.
A different look for Utah. Derek Favors checked in for Rudy Gobert. Cephalosha comes in for Joe Ingles. And it's Mitchell in for Ricky Rubio. Spurs leading by 4. Murray dishes to Gasol. Rebounded by Jerebko. There's 48 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Cephalosha kicks to Favors. The dish to Cephalosha. Favors with a screen on Gay. Out left to the wing. Mitchell. Another miss by Utah. Spurs have gone 7 of 11 from the field in the second quarter. Green the pass to Gay. Murray dishes to Aldridge. Rebound, Utah.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
To the middle, here's Burks. It doesn't go for him. Some solid defense from Gasol. Murray for three. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the...
And now, the 2K Sports
Hey,
halftime
everybody.
show.
Ernie Johnson, joined by Kenny the Jet Smith. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. They kept at it on both ends of the floor, and at the end of the period, they had a slight deficit of 3 points. There were a lot of positives for them to take away from the second quarter, where they... And that's all we can do for now.
We have a close ball game on our hands. Spurs leading by 4. We've got Joe Ingles. Alec Burks is out there with Ricky Rubio. And it's Rudy Gobert. And it's Jerebko in at the 4 slot. That's the group right now for Utah. Tries from 10. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And 12 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
And the Jazz have been one of the more old-school franchises. Pounded inside, grind out victories. They're still a tough defensive team, but Doris, Coach Quinn Snyder is receptive to a wide-open style of play.
Right. Quinn wants them to play with pace, look for easy opportunities. He also likes power forwards who can stretch the floor. He understands that's the way the league is going, and he's on board with it.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's foul number 2 for him. Now, here's Burks. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. 5 to shoot. Gobert with a screen for Burks.
And throughout his career, Gasol has continued to build upon his reputation as a lockdown defender. He gives his all on that end of the floor.
Parker drives in. Bucket is good.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
Here's Rubio. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Kicks to Gobert. Just over a minute and a half played here in the third. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his 3rd foul of the game. For the Jazz. Johnson comes in for Jerebko. And Hood subbed in for Burks. Spurs also with the sub. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for LaMarcus Aldridge.
And that 4th foul, guys, might force him to scale back the aggression from a defensive standpoint. He does not need, nor does the team need, number 5.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Laverne comes in for Pau Gasol. And it's Mills in for Parker.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
The pass to Hood. Nice ball movement by Utah. Dishes it to Gobert. And Rubio kicks to Johnson. Over Anderson. Johnson can't hit.
Solid rebound there. And with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
And that one drops. And now it's a 9-point San Antonio lead.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Spurs' Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years. Rubio with it. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Mills with the steal. And now the fast break Anderson with the ball. The putback. Rubio with the rebound. Jazz trail by 9. Outside Hood, and Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Doris, so much talk about offense. How do you slow some of these guys down defensively? I mean, one way is to draw charges, but thinking of that, who do you think is the best at doing that these days?
You know, Kevin, it can be a lost art in the game of basketball on any number of levels. You have to be willing to absorb contact, and sometimes from guys much bigger than yourself. So some of the names that come to mind for me, Marcus Smart with the Boston Celtics, Kemba Walker, always the smallest guy on the floor, is never afraid to give up his body. From the big guys, I'd probably say Maurice Spates or DeMarcus Cousins. Both are willing to cede that contact and try to gain an advantage going the other direction.
Yeah, they know they're going to take a hit, and they willingly take the hit for the betterment of the team.
Right.
Davis Bertans checks in for Kyle Anderson. Outside Hood. Clock at 6. Favors sets the pick for Hood. Pass to Favors. And Derek Favors with the slam.
Well, you like the attention to detail from Derek Favors. Great at staying in place when setting these screens. Creates opportunities for his guys. Love it.
And the shot is good. The Spurs lead has been cut down to 7 on the bucket from Hood. For San Antonio, they've gone 7 of 9 from the field to start this second half. Some tremendous shooting from them. Green kicks to Bertans. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. And Utah making a change here. Jerebko's checked in. .43 seconds left to play here in the third. Hood kicks to Jerebko. Feeds it to Hood. There's the pick. Mitchell dishes to Favors. Joe Johnson on the wing. Just 5 on the clock. And it's off from three-point range. San Antonio leading by 10. Bertans, the pass to Gay. Laverne down low. Working on Favors. And Laverne throws it down.
And really the story of the half. One team shooting it lights out. The other, the lights are just out.
Yeah, that's right. You said it. They don't find a way to switch it back on. They're in trouble.
And so it's San Antonio up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. And we'll be right back after this. A chance now to hear Coach Quinn Snyder talking to his team moments ago in the huddle.
Everybody keep shooting the ball, all right?
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. On the floor for San Antonio, Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Parker out there with Murray, and it's Gay in at small forward. Here's Mitchell. He's covered by Murray, and DeJounte Murray gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. And Utah has possession. Down by 12. And it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. Here's Mitchell. He's covered by Murray. Shot clock at 5. Hood can't get it to go. Spurs leading by 12. Parker's shot is off. Utah shooting for the game at 42%. Ball's knocked loose. Fast break, here they come. Lays it up and banks it in. Parker's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Spurs. Hood kicks to Jerebko. Nice ball movement by Utah. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his 5th foul.
And that's going to be his 5th, guys. One more and he's done.
The Spurs making a switch here. Ginobili's checked in. Burks on the wing. He's covered by Ginobili. And the shot is good. The Spurs lead has been cut down now to just 12 on the basket from Burks.
Boy, remarkable watching Alec Burks power through the defense.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
And hammering down the two-hand slam. And the Jazz call time here. Nice game. Great performance by LaMarcus Aldridge.
He's just really a one-man wrecking crew down low. And with this timeout, they've got to make some adjustments because he's been steady inside.
A different look for Utah. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Favors. Joe Ingles comes in for Mitchell. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Rodney Hood. Leonard, he's checked in for the Spurs. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin. Well, during the last break, I heard Quinn Snyder talking with his team, and he was emphatic. He said, we are not going to win this game playing this way, fellas. You've got to step it up. You've got to get aggressive, and you've got to battle to get back in this thing. See if that pep talk got him going, guys.
Yeah, and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort for Gasol to dunk it home. At 7 feet tall, he uses his height to power home those jams.
Ingles kicks to Burks. Stolen by Ginobili. Outside Aldridge. And count it. And a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Doris, you've talked a bit about leadership, both on and off the floor. What are some of the traits, in your opinion, that make someone a person who would want to follow and the characteristics of a leader?
You know, I'd say someone who prioritizes winning, even at the expense of their own success. That would be the first thing. And then someone who's ultra competitive. Somebody who's available on a night-by-night basis. Somebody who doesn't let a little nick or a bruise impact their availability on a particular night. So unselfishness, competitiveness, and availability are 3 attributes that I love.
And leaders can be followers from time to time, too, don't you think?
Oh, there's no question about it. You have to be willing to be a part of a group, and sometimes that means ceding your leadership position.
Leonard, that drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. And that's now 8 points for Kawhi Leonard.
And he's got the athleticism and strength to be a powerful presence inside. Leonard never afraid to get in and mix it up down low.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's it for him. He's fouled out of the game. Mills, he's checked in for San Antonio. And Gasol comes to help.
Yeah, that's got them over the limit with a lot of time still left. They're going to have to tone it down, or they may end up giving up a lot of free throws here.
He hits the second from the line. Spurs leading by 17. Ginobili dishes to Gasol. Outside Aldridge. Ginobili kicks to Gasol. It's stolen by Gobert. And here's Ingles outside. It's hauled in by Ginobili. The Spurs have gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the 4th quarter on a roll. And Leonard gets it to go.
Just terrific determination. First, compiling the lead, and now building on it.
Yeah, Greg, I think it's very difficult coming back in this instance. They have owned this game. Don't see them coughing up this lead.
Off the pick. The shot that time, not on target. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Here's Ginobili. That one good for 2. And the Spurs lead by 21.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, really good awareness by the scorer. You're seeing an opening in the defense and exploiting it beautifully.
Burks with it. Picked up by Aldridge. Burks can't get it to go.
Well, it looks like he's going to get the easy 2 points, but the defense recovers just in time to affect it.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for San Antonio.
You know, a team can have a great shooting night without getting a lot of assists, but tonight they had both.
Yeah, and listen, you only get the assist if the guy you give it to makes the shot. So a lot of assists will up your field goal percentage, but this was a great team effort by everyone.
And so the hard work and effort paying off tonight, putting another win in the books. That'll be win number 27.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Aldridge.
Boy, what a tremendous display of offensive firepower. It mattered not the size, the type of defender they put on him. He made easy work of it.
Utah with the ball to stop the run, and it's sent back by Aldridge. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Plays it up off the glass.
And all the energy has been sucked out of this arena. This is not what the fans came to see.
Well, they took the crowd completely out of this game, and when you get a lead like that, it's sort of deflating for the home crowd. What a solid victory on the road.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Here's Gobert. That one falls, coming off Johnson's feet.
Boy, how comfortable is Rudy Gobert on the interior, the size and the score. Nice.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. And here is Cephalosha. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David. David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David.